Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another Coinsider live stream. Now today I have a super exciting stream for you today because it's going to be about the internet capital markets meta, which if you're on crypto X at all, then you'll know that this has been captivating and capturing everyone's attention across crypto X. So today I want to dig deep into this new meta and share with you how some people have been making literally 100x gains in a single day, and just look at how it works, why some people call it a glorified pump.fun, why there's a really interesting viral flywheel, and some criticisms too. Like, we're not only moon boys in this channel, right? You know me. You know that I like to cover both the pros and cons. So in today's stream, we're going to focus a lot on both the good and the bad. There's going to be a lot in the bad part too, okay? So don't go accusing me, chat, about being overly blind, having like rose-colored glasses, like, and overlooking the bad parts about this meta. Okay, so we're gonna dig into everything about this meta, and that's why, folks, I sometimes leave timestamps, but today I'm not going to, because you really should watch this whole thing. I'm gonna cover like what it is, what's interesting, some interesting context and history. We're gonna look at specific projects within this meta. We're gonna look at their price action of them. We're gonna talk about the future and what I think and how I would play this meta. Okay. Let's see. Let's look at chat real quick. It's just a dud. Retail strong. Hell yes. Launchcoin ecosystems are in a big dip. Yes, they are. Dupe. Noodle. Let's go. Hello, everybody. And hello to a lot of the retail DAOs watching too. That's DAOs like DAOWLS. Shout out to all the retail DAOs watching. Okay, so internet capital markets. Is this the future of raising capital, or is this just another short-term pump.fun type meme coin launchpad scam? Okay, we're gonna really dig into this ultimate question here. And the first thing, one sec, let me move this around actually to right here. Okay, so what is the internet capital markets meta? What is it? Let's start there at the very top. Okay, there are some things that, let me take away this banner and let me share screen. Okie dokie. Okay. So I wrote in the title and the thumbnail that this is the meta. Okay, this is like a defining meta for the crypto space. In 2020, we had DeFi, 2021 NFTs, 2024 was AI agents, as we all know. Now 2025, this person is claiming that it's the internet capital markets meta. Is it the new frontier of funding on the internet? Or is it just repackaging old narrative with new buzzwords, right? So at the heart of this trend is Launchcoin and the Believe app. Okay, we're going to touch on this a lot. We're going to dive into that, don't worry. But we're just starting at the top here right now. Basically, this meta is turning internet ideas into tradable assets. And founders and builders use Launchcoin and Believe app as kind of the launch pad to launch tokens on Solana. So this is on Solana, of course, as a lot of these launch pads and meme coin stuff are. But what are internet capital markets in the first place as like an overarching concept, right? It's a decentralized permissionless marketplace where capital flows directly to builders, creators, and ideas. This is instant and global. So it's kind of like crowdfunding, like Kickstarter, IPOs, and meme coins combined. But frictionless, fun, and internet native. So it's kind of like average fan, right? It could be like IDO slash ICO, but maybe better. That's perfect way to put it. Thank you so much. So a way to think about it is attention equals capital, right? And belief equals liquidity. And this is what this internet capital market is built on. Capital and liquidity. Attention plus belief. So basically, this Believe app, which you can download if you have iOS, like iPhone, is the launch pad for these internet capital market projects and tokens, right? You can basically launch tokens directly from Twitter slash X, and it aligns the builders with the early backers who want to ride the upside if the project succeeds. So really high level overview. You just tag this launch coin, write your ticker symbol and the name, and then they launch your token with a bonding curve just similar to like pump.fun essentially. Limited supply, high early fees. As the market cap grows, your token graduates to deeper liquidity through Meteora pools, and then you claim 50% of all trading fees, and that 50% goes to the builder, 50% goes to Believe app. So yeah, that's why some people think it's similar to kind of like the pump.fun ecosystem. Now, this person shared some personal thoughts. I'm going to go into a lot of these criticisms more later in the stream. But basically, it's this whole ecosystem is rallying because it's like a new meta and there's like a vibe coding culture and things like that. It's not as big as AI agents, so need to lower expectations. I agree with this a lot. Regulatory risk, blah, blah, blah. Rug potential. We're going to talk a lot about this later in the stream, so don't you worry. Speculation over substance and no legal protections. We're going to talk about all these concerns. This person is on point with a lot of his analysis and concerns, and we're going to talk about a lot of this later in this stream. And we're going to talk about a lot of these projects like Dupe, Creator, Aurascope, Fitcoin, Giggles. We're going to talk about a lot of them individually, okay? But before that, I still want to really dig into what this is all about. And yeah, just some interesting things because I really want you guys to understand instead of just diving into random projects. I want you to really understand what this meta is about, right? So, what is this, right? Make your next viral app idea tradable from day one. Imagine launching your app and instantly making a tradable asset where anyone on the internet can back your ideas, not just with likes or downloads, but by becoming a real stakeholder. It's a creation of a new market where you could trade ideas behind apps and generate volume, which helps builders like support them, right? Internet capital markets allows everyone to inject capital into apps and websites from day one, directly from people who would eventually become your users. It's like a launch pad for internet apps where builders can launch ideas and you can speculate on their ideas by buying a token. The more demand around the token would eventually help the builder develop the app faster. So yeah, and then this talks about the Believe app and a lot of the other things. And projects launched by builders with successful exits, revenue-making apps, and massive user traction will attract the most attention. Study builders as fast as you can. Believe in someone. So this is kind of like a very favorable vision of what internet capital markets is all about. Now, does that mean that that's what this Believe app and Launchcoin stuff is? Not necessarily, folks. Not necessarily. And that's what I want to dig into in this stream, right? So here's the next thing. I told you about this Believe app, right? And Launchcoin. We're going to take a look at both of those. But basically, this is how this works, right? Founders, they want to test a demand for an idea, so they tag Launchcoin with ticker, symbol plus name. And if demand is proven equals 100K market cap, there's a token generation event into Meteora pools, and then 50-50 split between creators and the Believe app. So there's a really smart viral growth wheel, right? Because you have to tag it on Twitter, and that creates a coin very publicly. So if you have a big account of like big builders on X and they have a lot of supporters, they do this launch live on X, and then people can see that instantly. So they're like, oh, we got to go buy this token on Believe app and like back this builder that we've been following for a long time. So that's what this flywheel is. It's a very public growth flywheel. And this is why this has gone so viral in the past few weeks. And done a lot of like volume launches. This is old. I'm going to show you the updated version in a bit. Now, here is the Believe available on iOS. Okay, but what I want to show you is this playbook. So this tells you like how you can launch a token. Will it pump and dump, how the fee works, what to build. And let's see. This is an interesting part though. This legal section, folks. Check this out. Let me make this larger. This we will refer to later in the stream, but this is the legal section on their playbook. It says your coin must not represent equity, do not imply or promise ownership of any kind, do not promise or imply financial returns, do not offer yield or income. This includes profit sharing. It should function as digital merchandise. Think of it as a way of supporters to back your project. Standard insider trading laws still apply. So people have seen this as a red flag, this legal part of the playbook. And we're going to talk about why during the criticisms part of the stream. So definitely keep this in mind. Now, if you still don't really get what's going on, I want to show you this. Have y'all seen this by Gabriel Haynes? This is a kind of a comedian in the crypto space, but one sec. I want to make sure that you can hear the audio too. Okay, right here. Let me just make sure this kind of, one sec. Make sure this isn't too loud, okay? Let's watch this together.
Internet capital markets.
Let me know if the volume is okay, guys, as you hear this.
Welcome to the newest trend in shitcoinery. You launch a consumer application, you launch a token, you slap it together, and boom, you're going to the fucking moon, baby. It was all started by Launchcoin, which displays a beautiful list of these consumer applications. What are these applications, you might ask? You got Giggles, a Zoomer Gen Z social media application with a token. You got Noodles, a snake-like game where you eat the other snakes. You got a token and you win some cash. You got Fit, you take a picture of your clothes and they're like, you don't dress nicely. This is how you should dress. You got Super Friend, an AI you talk to, and you're like, how can I improve my coding? You got Ninja Chat, which is exactly like the same thing as the Super Friend, I think, but it makes 40 grand a month, apparently. You got the Aura Scanner. You take a picture of some motherfucker, it shows you some colors, and boom, you're printing on some shitcoins together. You got PMP, which allows anyone to be able to deploy their very own prediction market, so you can predict shit like the fucking Oracle, baby. What do these tokens have to do with the fucking application? Almost nothing, but they're memetically connected, and in that thin memetic connection is where the profit is. So let's send the internet capital markets to the goddamn moon.
Folks, what did you think about that? I think that was a very humorous but also pretty accurate description of what this internet capital meta is about. And you see in the Believe app, you can. So I have an Android right here, but I have a Mac, so I was able to download and sign up. And basically, there's all those different projects, and you can buy their tokens. And a lot of it is just memetically connected, like they said, right? But we're gonna dive in a lot more stuff. First of which, adoption for this and growth is absolutely rocketing. Okay, like the Believe app. Wait, I need to share screen. The Believe app is shaking up project funding on Solana with its tweet to token model. Remember, I told you, you just have to tap, you just have to tag Launchcoin, and then they will spin up a token for you, letting anyone launch a token by replying to a tweet. It now has the third most meme coin volume of any launchpad behind Pump.Fun and Meteora. Right? Check this out. This is incredible. And this happened within the past like 2 weeks. The vision, and this is a very generous vision, is to democratize venture funding. It aims to turn online attention into permissionless capital. Drastically lowers the barrier to token issuance on Solana. Is that a good thing? Maybe not. We're gonna see a lot of the criticisms in a bit. Over 5,000 tokens were launched on Believe in the last 24 hours. This puts it in third place in token launches. They start on a bonding curve. You can graduate to a Meteora pool for deeper liquidity, and creators get 50% of the trading fees. It aims to support utility coins and targeting Web2 devs. Now, is that what's going on right now? Arguably, no. But that is what they were trying to do eventually. A gap in the market exists for low valuation venture businesses that Believe could potentially fill. Regulatory fog is thick though. Extreme market volatility. Yeah. So here is the Believe screener, and already close to 2 billion lifetime volume, almost 15,000 coin launches. This is going up by the day. Total market cap, not that much currently. Over 400 million. This is like all the projects in the like Believe and Launchcoin ecosystem. Volume, transactions, crazy. A lot of these are bots though, so keep this in mind. Claimed fees, almost 2 mil to the creators and builders or Memecoin rug devs, and 2 mil to Believe in 24 hours, by the way. So this is so impressive. And here are some top projects. We're going to look at a lot of these projects individually, okay? But like their Launchcoin, we're going to look at Launchcoin right after this. So hold tight. This is the coin that's like powering this meta and powering the Believe app. But there's a lot of other like Web 2-ish projects and even meme coins. Like I believe these two are meme coins or whatnot. And some of these are real products and projects. They have, wow, this is quite the large, like someone here was right that it dumped quite a bit. Pratik said Launchcoin ecosystem coins are in big dip. And we see that like right here in these 24-hour change. This is crazy. They even have 30-minute changes. So there's a lot of coins. We're going to look into some of them. And here is another dashboard. And it shows the coins launched, total market cap, average volume, average fees, and a lot of other stats that show essentially impressive growth and impressive stats for this Believe app and the Launchcoin ecosystem. Right? So point is, adoption has been impressive. Now, let's take a look at the Launchcoin, which, with full disclosure, I did buy some of it. I didn't buy super early, like right here, but I bought it around like here. So I'm up a little bit. I'm up like maybe 2-3x. But the question is, can this get higher, right? Like to 1 billion maybe or more. Unsure, because as we'll see later in this stream, this meta may be very problematic in some ways and maybe getting cooked. Yeah, like Herodias. I'm sorry, I don't really know how to pronounce your name, but that's exactly the problem. Sometimes there's a disconnect between the project and the token, right? There's a big disconnect, and that is a big problem. Goon C. Okay, we will take a look. Okay, so this is Launchcoin. This is the main coin behind the Believe app and behind this whole new hot meta. But check this out. Check this out. What happened here? There was a big pump and then dump, and it looks like it died off until recently, where it rocketed yet again. So we're going to talk about what happened here. This is quite the interesting story. You're probably wondering, what in the world happened like early 2025 and then it died for like so many months until all of a sudden rocketing again? What happened? I'm going to answer that question real soon. But first, I want to show you that we in Retail DAO 2 days ago have been talking about the internet capital markets meta earlier than most people. I mean, was it the earliest? No, but still earlier than most people. And here are the receipts. So my point is, I would love to invite y'all to join Retail DAO. Just real quick, folks, if you haven't heard of Retail DAO, it's a token-gated community for serious retail investors who care about discussion, analysis, research, who want to share opportunities with each other, who share opportunities like this Launchcoin internet capitals meta early. Maybe not the earliest always, but we can't always do that, right? But this is a decentralized effort. It's the wisdom of the crowd, and that's what we're all about. We are not one guru giving you signals. I don't feed you signals in here, okay? This is wisdom of the crowd and a decentralized effort, and it's token gated. So you need 20,000 retail tokens. I don't want you to think about this like buy it to speculate. I don't want anyone to like ape in like thousands worth of dollars. You only need 20,000 of these tokens, which is around like $10 to $12 currently. So it's quite cheap. It's a one-time thing. As long as you have more than 20,000 or more tokens, you will be in the Discord and you will see the channels. So I would love for y'all to join. How to join? Really easy. There's a Discord link in the description of the stream, and you join and check out the Start Here channel. But basically, you go to Uniswap on Base, you get some ETH. Don't use USDC, ETH only, please, for better slippage. And you just swap for some of these retail tokens, and then you join, and then you say GM or say hello to us in the Discord, and I'll say hi back. So real quick that. Now, back to the internet capital markets meta. Now, what is the history of this? That's what I want to dig into and show you. Why was there that initial pump and dump? Well, here is the answer to that. Let me share screen again. So, how a failed Solana launch became a 280 million turnaround. So, Ben Pasternak, who is the founder of this Believe app and Launchcoin, was another ambitious 25-year-old founder when he launched Clout, an app where traders can launch tokens backed by ideas and identities. Day one, the token soared to 180 million market cap. Days later, it collapsed below 300K. Wrecked investors, total meme status, looked like it was dead. But Ben did not fold. He rebranded the app to Believe, relisted his token as Launchcoin, and this week, 280 million most talked about project on Solana, and even this person downloaded it. So here is another yesterday's Pasternak. Like this was a coin that the founder launched of his own last name on his Clout app, but he rebranded it to Launchcoin and made it powering the Believe app, right? So check out this. This is essentially what happened in the history, right? Like the initial Clout app pump and then dump, dead coin, and then now rocket ship again. This is a little bit old, but here's another thing showing the history of this. Wasn't this app called Clout before? They rugged, last I saw, 3 million from the community, including Pasternak and Imran coins. Nothing to be proud of. Yeah, so point is, this used to be Clout app, and Launchcoin used to be Pasternak, a kind of social token from the creator and the founder, but he rebranded it to Launchcoin. So yeah, it's a crazy chart. Now, one really, really interesting thing about this project is that how many of y'all have heard of Nikita Beer? This is one of the best growth experts of Web 2. That's why he wrote, "Who said Web 2 boys can't do crypto?" Right? Because he is an advisor to the Solana ecosystem. If you don't know, he sold the Gas app to Discord, and he sold the TBH app to Facebook. So he makes apps grow really fast, and he's an advisor to Solana and other stuff. So he is, and you can also, some people criticize him because you can also book consultations with him, and he charges $1 million for a full-time consultation, and like $23,000 for like building a viral app, etc., etc. So he played a big hand in helping design this growth flywheel of the Believe app and Launchcoin, right? So this is a very big, he's not the founder, but he's like an advisor per se. But anyways, folks, it's all about the projects in this ecosystem, right? So let's take a look at the projects. One sec, let me pull up some things. So I gave you the Believe screener earlier, but like I said, here is another dashboard. And someone here mentioned, who was it? Who was it mentioned Gooncoin? Former crypto millionaire, has the potential to be the next Farcoin. Well, we see it right here. Gooncoin, ranked number 1. Top 50 creators, creator fees. Wow, he's made almost $500,000. Gooncoin. And then there's Dupe, Startup, Unicorn, Yapper, Uber.fun, Theranos. Wow, a lot of memes. Noodle, Giggles, Fitcoin, Horoscope. We've seen a lot of, we're going to look at a lot of these. Gooncoin. Okay, I'm not going to use that thing. Here is a great thread. You bought Launchcoin. Bro, you need to join Retail DAO and see our alpha and share your alpha. You got in early. That's a nice catch. So Internet Capital Markets watch list. Launchcoin, which is the only one I hold so far because I like infrastructure. But there's also Gooncoin, Vine, Jelly, Dupe. See, look, Launchcoin is the infra layer, clear leader. Goon is the meme. Vine has potential to be revived if the team gets active. I don't know if that's going to happen. Jelly is the only ICM coin with Binance perps. Dupe, probably the strongest startup from a product market fit perspective. Not interested in smaller Believe app coins. Fees are high and relative valuations versus Launchcoin are not compelling. I do agree with this thesis. So yeah, that's the first quick look. But here is another thread explaining the top coin. Launchcoin is the coin behind the Believe app. It's the one powering and driving this whole thing. Dupe stands for Deal Unlocking Price Engine. It basically lets you find similar products for less money. Let me show you this actually. dupe.com. Find similar products for less, right? So you just have to essentially snap up all your dream furniture at the lowest price with this one life hack. This is kind of loud, but you can see it finding similar furniture for much less. Dupe.com. Okay. But we're not done yet. Vine is the old the founder of Vine is on a mission to bring it back. With XAI owning Vine, there's a huge possibility. I don't know. I don't think it's a huge possibility, but yeah, this is Vine. Jelly lets you share clips from video chats. You start a video chat, post your videos with no editing. Yeah, so that's Buddy is an AI that has access to your X posts. You can ask it any question about your entire content history. Noodle is like Slither, but for blockchain. Eat other snakes, take their money. There's no news yet on the use of the Noodle token. So there's that. And then Giggles is another short video app. Fitcoin is an AI-powered virtual closet. So there's a lot of apps that have utility. But the issue here is, are their tokens really going to benefit from any revenue or growth that their apps see? So far, the answer is probably not. And there's some other small ones too. Ninja Chat makes use of all the best AI tools all in one place. See, this is fine, but why does it need a kind of meme coin or token on the Believe app, right? I guess they're trying to raise money through speculation, but that's just going to open up the holders to pump and dumps. We'll join Retail DAO. Please do pass the token gate and come say hello in the general chat. Tag me too. Okay, now here's another thread. The most comprehensive list of internet capital markets coins ranked by market cap. We already took a look at Launchcoin. We took a look at Dupe, Vine, Jelly, Buddy. There's so many of these AI. It's like Web 2 AI vibe coders, right? Have you guys heard of the vibe coding meta? It's like where you can build apps completely using AI. So these are vibe coders. Noodle. Let's take a look at Noodle, actually. This is basically just like a snake game where if you eat other snakes, you like take their money per se. Like right here. We've all played the snake game before, right? And then you win earnings too. So this is quite interesting, but the issue is we've had over 75K flow through the game. This is old too, so it's probably more. Fix critical utility, create a healthy game equals utility for the coin. Okay, I guess we'll wait and see. Now, folks, now it's time to talk about the criticisms and the bad part. We've already seen a few glimpses of where this whole thing could go wrong, but there is a lot I want to share with you on the bad part of this. Okay. So the first problem is that there's a lot of snipers and they're just selling, making ridiculous profits. Look, they bought 21K, sold at 700K. These are all snipers. This is so extractive. This is biblical levels of extraction going on, okay? Here's something else. There's a dark side to Launchcoin tokens. Snipers are the ones making hundreds of thousands of dollars at the expense of the wider market just getting involved. I am a fan of this meta, but only after the bundled sniper third parties are exited from the coins. Because you have to tag the launch coin page for the launch to happen, devs are able to set up scrapers and set criteria to make sure they are first on every single one of these. So huge problem with how it's set up. And I want to show you someone who has a really like personable experience with this sniper problem. Okay.
Getting in there. It looked cool, like a cool website. So I just spent 30 minutes trying to get in the Believe app. I saw a coin that someone launched on Twitter. I saw them tweet as a reply, hey, turn this into a coin. So I go, oh shit, I'm getting in there. It looked cool, like a cool website. I didn't realize.
By the way, you guys can hear this, right? Is the volume okay? Please let me know in the chat.
But that thing was entirely sniped. I bought it at like 300K, and as soon as I bought it, just sniper selling. I lost like 3 SOL right away. So I go, okay, let me go discover some of these top coins. And the coins right now that are at millions of dollars in market cap are the worst shit I've ever seen. This is worse than the AI meta. This is worse than all of the metas I've seen before. Hot garbage right now is being promoted, and these coins are millions of dollars. What are we buying here?
What are we buying here? That's a great question. That's why I only bought Launchcoin and maybe not. I think some of the top projects are okay, but a lot of the other like ones really in the trenches are hot garbage, guys.
What are we buying here? People are like, hey, fuck VCs. We're the new funding for businesses. These aren't businesses. What kind of businesses are we funding here? These things are vibe-coded bullshit.
Vibe-coded BS.
This is the worst meta I've ever seen. I can't wait for all of these coins to go to zero.
You heard it. You heard it, folks. Now, by the way, folks, there's a lot more criticism and negative stuff we have to take a look at relating to this meta. But first, if you like this type of live stream, I try to do it at least 4 times a week during the weekdays at noon Eastern. So please like this stream, and subscribe if you want to join me in future ones. And you don't even have to think about when it's going to be. It's going to be noon Eastern, okay? Anyhow, back to the criticisms. We can't build internet capital markets on top of meme coins, only internet casinos. Just call it what it is. Internet capital markets can't exist until you have actual tokenized startup equity on chain. Now, there is a big disconnect in this kind of meta, okay? And here it is. What the users see versus what creators see. Users are like, invest in people and their ideas. Pick right, become a billionaire, blah, blah, blah. Trade, speculate, blah, blah, blah. And then now believers, or builders, I should say, your coin must never represent equity, do not imply or promise things, no financial returns, can't be marketed as investments, do not offer income or yield. So basically, it's like buy stuff and be rich. And then this other part, for builders, it's like you can't really offer or promise anything, right? You see the disconnect, folks? This is the fundamental disconnect with this model currently. Internet capital markets, bro, they are just literally meme coins. And this screenshot is what we just saw in the playbook. I showed y'all this earlier in the playbook of the Believe app. This is straight from that. They are literally just meme coins. However, some people are saying internet capital markets is not venture capital, it's venture vaporware. So it probably goes a lot higher, which is a good point because, well, in a true bull market, vapor and shit coins go really high. But right now we're seeing a significant pullback in this meta. Now, could it go higher? Of course. This is just launched like this week, just like the past few days, essentially. So, I mean, this meta just really heated up. Pratik says, sounds worse than Pump.fun. We're going to talk about Pump in a bit. Pump is also kind of like worried about this stuff because this is eating Pump's market share. But I have more stuff. One sec. Capital. Okay. So let me get this straight. 3 of the top 5 coins for internet capital markets are meme coins. Goon coin, startup is really funny actually. We should take a look at that. And unicorn. These are all memes, but they sold us. They told us these were supposed to be real Web 2 projects raising capital in a new manner, right? This was to revolutionize fundraising and supporting Web 2 builders and things like that. That's what they told us. But yet, 3 of the top 5 coins are meme coins, such as startup. Soul. What is the startup, by the way? Dang, are they not going to give me the actual? Okay. Actually, let me go to the scanner. The screener. Startup right here. View on Dex, Twitter. Right here. Startup coin. The product is the market cap. So this is a meme coin, guys. The product is the market cap. Look at this meme. The vision. We aren't building software, we're building belief. Blah, blah, blah. Up and to the right isn't a meme, it's a mechanism. It's a crypto asset backed by one mission, market cap expansion, fueled by attention, sustained by reflexivity. This is probably made by AI too. Traction, 25 million market cap in 2 days. Virality, fastest growing startup. It's not even a startup. It's like a meme startup, you know? They're just kind of joking about, like, that's why the ticker is startup. This gives us even more fees and lets us buy even more startup. Our proprietary tech causes a chart to go up and to the right. Business model, fee revenue. There's nothing here. This is definitely a meme coin. Look at this chart. They're promising financial returns though, so they may get in trouble legally. The product is a market cap. So yeah. Mia writes, honestly, the Believe app platform has been underwhelming so far, which is why I believe we're still early to this whole thing. We need to get to a point where Solana or Believe breaks free from all the low-quality slop meme coin trading and enters into a new stage back to utility projects. I wish, but so far Solana has only been this slop, right? People pitch Launchcoin as a digital Shark Tank. But right now, it's pretty much a vampire attack on Pump.Fun, where people launch meme coins on Launchcoin instead of Pump Fun, right? This contradicts what Believe app was intended to be, a replacement for VC funding. So the belief that, yeah. So he's saying the founder has to fix a couple of things until this happens and to attract more startups to launch on Believe. I agree. There's a lot of problems so far with this model. Here's an even more harsh criticism. So Pasternak's clout app that rugged inside of a week changed its name to Believe, and now it's not a rug anymore. Let's see how this pivot from creator token rugs to fake business token rugs turns out. They're calling that the app will be dead in a week. Be cautious of anyone shilling you this trash. Okay. This person, Sniper up 800k in 1 day, just max selling Launchcoin new coins. Yeah, and people are out here celebrating this new tech. This is the worst shit that could have ever happened. We were organically grinding higher on so many coins, and now it's back to the scam meta. So yeah, that's right. Like, We want utility and quality, not scam meme coin pump and dumps. That is like bad for the bull market. Max extraction market. See, here's the thing. Real internet capital markets require incentive alignment, coordination, and structure between both builders and traders. Builders and traders. Without that, we have sparkling meme coins. You guys see? Internet capital markets. This name sounds cool, but let's be real. This isn't much different from a typical pump and dump. Anyone can launch a token and hype it up, but what guarantees that the founder actually builds? Right now, there's no mechanism in place to enforce that. So right now, everything is low quality, low effort, underqualified devs, aka vibe coders. But the people who ape into it know this as well. But here's a problem for the founders that think they can just launch and pump and dump, right? This person says, look me in the eyes and tell me Belief app isn't a rerun of the unsustainable NFT model. And Danny, this I agree with a lot. The irony is that the Belief app founders raising capital from meme trench warriors versus normal VC is that when things turn, they won't just have 1 to 2 people to answer to. They will have thousands of people demanding to know why they stopped building, right? That is so true. People are going to be mad. If these founders are here just to pump and dump their stupid Web 2 projects with no real reason to have a token, people will be mad and people will try to hold them accountable and they'll be like, shit, I shouldn't have done this. This is not worth it. This is like zero bro all again. Remember how Jeffy Yu like had that fake like suicide thingy because he had too much pressure on it and Zero Bro's pretty much dead now. These people will not let the founder slow down. So, I know we talked about a lot of negative stuff, but there is an other side to this to still be optimistic. And this person writes, yes, the tokens are technically meme coins and traders are mostly speculating from the trenches, but the devs are legit builders curated by the Believe team, and they are earning enough trading fees to not have to raise venture for a while. Do people know how brutal it is to raise from VCs? Yeah, it is quite brutal. I tried it before. I do not recommend it. And how nice it's just to get the money in the bank and focus on building. That is the big unlock. It's fundamentally the same idea as NFT royalties. Is it the final form of crypto capital formation? I don't know, but it's a big step in the right direction. So ultimately, this internet capital markets is experimentation in the area of capital formation. And here's another kind of favorable view of the vision, right? This internet capital markets meta is reimagining how early stage projects raise and trade value. No waiting for VCs, no gatekeepers, no delays. Anyone can launch, anyone can participate, the market reacts instantly. This flips the traditional fundraising model. No pitch decks, no boardrooms, just product token market. Build, launch, let the value emerge in real time. So this is the kind of like grand vision of it all, right? In ICM, tokens carry more than ownership. They represent access, governance, utility, and belief. Not just a financing tool, but a foundation for the open market. So I like this. I hope this is the case. But right now, there is still a disconnect. This is not what it is currently, right? As we've clearly seen today. The excitement is about creators launching and funding ideas on their own terms. Faster, leaner, permissionless. What if the internet becomes the capital market? Tokens as access, users as early backers. Markets shaped by creativity and community. So yeah, this is the vision. And something else that's super interesting is that Multicoin Capital, one of the biggest and most famous backers of Solana, wrote something a long time ago, earlier this year, called the Solana thesis, Internet Capital Markets. But this isn't the same thing as the current meta, by the way. The current meta kind of took this name or like repurposed this name into its own meta. But I just wanted to point this out. This is not the same thing. This is talking about building Solana to be like the most efficient platform for payments, for trading, and things like that. But here's the thing. Some people are like, okay, I don't know if it's a good thing for teams that would never be able to get a single venture check to be able to extract millions from retail folks. Because that just leaves us the ability to get dumped on, to be schmucks, right? And here's another view. CT is about to let a bunch of Web 2 founders who couldn't make it come in and max extract. Internet capital markets at its finest. Now, I told you that the founder was trying to address some of these criticisms and stuff. So, Ben Pasternak wrote, "The past few days have been wild. We've seen a surge of interest from founders, but we're going to pause on featuring new projects to focus on supporting the new ones already building." So what he means is that if you open the Believe app, there's a featured page. Now, there's been 5,000 new tokens launched recently, but instead of featuring new ones, they're going to support the ones already building. Our priority is to make sure they have the tools and resources they need to succeed. Believe in something. And he also said, one thing we're consistently hearing from traders is Believe coins need to have more utility. So they're rolling out tools to make this possible. Like you're going to integrate it into your project, airdrops, Discord access, vesting, all this stuff. So this is nice to see, but ultimately the project builders have to have good utility for their coins in their product or project, right? And that's up to them. There's not much that Believe app can do to force them to do that, right? Now, the question is, can this meta come back and maintain momentum, or is this going to be really short-lived? In my opinion, it's going to be short-lived and last only a few weeks, unless the market really starts to rocket again. But like I said, there is a long-term vision here, right? And the long-term vision is right here. It's honestly sad to see everyone abuse the term internet capital markets and drag it through the mud. Let's be clear. Internet capital markets is the ultimate end game of this entire industry. It's not only about putting real-world equity on chain, it's about redefining what equity even is. It's about enabling real companies with cash flow, fundamentals, to be fully liquid and tradable 24/7 on the blockchain. It's a regulatory end state we've been waiting for, where token launches evolve into on-chain IPOs that can legally return value. That's the vision. So that's kind of similar to what the Multicoin Capital article was all about. But they're like, don't hijack a term that represents one of the most serious and valuable outcomes crypto can offer. Shame on Launchcoin and everyone co-signing this nonsense, right? Now, I told you that Pump.Fun was really worried about all this stuff going on, and this is changing the landscape of the market. So, Pump.Fun finally said that they're going to do creator revenue sharing. 50% of PumpSwap revenue is now shared with coin creators. Create a coin. So look, they're worried about this Launchcoin Believe app coming for their revenue. So each time someone trades your coin, you earn 5 basis points, blah, blah, blah. But freaking Pump.Fun, if this is true, are slimy as hell. This person dug into it. Had to ask people if it's true that Pump.Fun announcement is actually just an extra fee added on the community. Previous model was this, current model, creator fee share. So it's a community paying extra fees to support creators. Pump makes the same amount as before. not giving 50% of their DEX rev back. Really misleading. So it's a fine print in the video. Creator share is 5 basis points. There's fine print. I hate Pump.Fun. They are so disgusting and so extractive. Pump.Fun is the worst thing to happen this cycle. I called it. Calling it now. Yes, I really dislike them for that reason. But anyhow, folks, this was a long stream, but we dug a lot into this new internet capital markets meta. We looked at what it is, the viral growth wheel. We looked at the history with the Clout app and the Pasternak coin and how it rebranded. We looked at all the success it had. We looked at some interesting projects like Startup, like Gooncoin, like Dupe, which actually has an interesting product, Noodle, which is like the Slither one. We looked at a lot of those, and we looked at a lot of the criticism. The criticisms were half the stream, right? We looked at all the criticisms, the sniper problem, how this is a glorified Pump.Fun vampire attack, and then we looked at how they're trying to respond to these criticisms and what the ultimate vision of this internet capital markets is, right? And finally, we just heard how Pump.Fun is responding. So this was such a deep dive in today's stream. It took me a lot of time to kind of compile everything. I aim to do this in the future, not with this meta, but with other ones. So if you like this stream, please give this a quick like. Please subscribe to catch this future at noon Eastern. I will do one tomorrow too. So see y'all tomorrow. I don't know what yet, but let me know in the chat or let me know in the Retail DAO Discord what you want me to do, and I will try to do that. This is Kevin. I'm out of breath. This was a big one. But I'll see y'all next time.